Hello, my name is Simon, and this is the Retro News Roundup. To start, here's a nice story about the power of the gaming community. And yes, okay, the power of cold hard cash. Nintendo's Satellavision titles, F-Zero BS Grand Prix 1 and BS Grand Prix 2 were broadcast between 1996 and 1997, but many of the tracks from the second game were not properly preserved. Until now. $2,500 was offered to anyone who could help find the tracks, dead or alive, and we ended up with them being uncovered. You can now play them via a fan-made ROM online too, and all in all it definitely makes you feel a lot more positive about gaming than, say, if you look at the Switch 2 pricing. In more good news, fledgling retro game creators can now use the website Homebrew Factory to produce small print runs of their titles. It'll instantly connect those games with potential new customers as well. Let's start with the usual Arcade Archive releases, of which there were 3 for PS4 and Switch last month. Juno First, Land Sea Air Squad, and Senkyu. Next comes a trio of egg console ports for the Switch, The Legend of Heroes Saga, Super Xenon Gamma 5, and Gull Cave. Then Nintendo System got 4 SNES titles via the Switch Online service: Nobunaga's Ambition, Nobunaga's Ambition Lord of Darkness, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4 Wall of Fire, and Uncharted Waters New Horizons. Next, through PSN, a load of old PS1 titles were re-released, including most of the Siphon Filter series, Croc, Jumping Flash, Ape Escape, and Medieval, and probably a few more I might have missed. Then 2 games for Steam, Head Over Heels Deluxe and Castle of Shikigami 3. Volumes 5 and 6 for the Polymega system were released in March too, for Bad Dudes and Heavy Barrel specifically. Evercade players got 2 new carts in March as well, with Indie Heroes Collection 4 and Broken Sword Collection. Then a load of multi-format releases. First is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream on the PS4, PS5, Switch and Xbox One. Second, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster on Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox One and PC. Next, Saga Frontier 2 Remastered on Switch, PS4, PS5, Windows, iOS and Android. And then finally, Bubble Ghost Remake floated onto Windows, Switch and PS5. One thing the world definitely needs more of is handhelds with inbuilt games. So it's great news to see Blaze announce 2 new Super Pocket systems, one for Neo Geo titles and another for Data East games. It'll be in consumers' no doubt eager hands in June, and pre-orders are already open. These will cost you £50 each. A fair stack of Homebrew was released last month, including 5 Amiga games: Speed Haste, Hyper Wings, Pjusk, Trapped in the Tomb, and Sky Shapers. Next, a trio of Commodore 64 releases: Zookeeper, Mega Vortex 2, and 4000 Kung Fu Maniacs. Then to round off the new Homebrew releases, JetPac Miner dug onto the ZX Spectrum, Prisonela MD escaped towards the Mega Drive, Formula V20 1985 raced onto the Commodore Vic 20, Masterpiece was completed on the Amstrad CPC, Marlowe leapt onto the MSX, Gravity Boy came down to Earth on the Commodore Plus 4, and International Copycat Plus prowled towards the Amiga 500. Then finally, a Kickstarter was launched for Snout on the Game Boy Color. It doesn't look a real bore, so it might be worth backing. Quite a lot to cover here this month, starting with the fact that 2 unfinished ports for the NES were discovered. The first for Sensible Soccer, and the second for Populous. Next, mobile games Monster Hunter 1 and Shokan Crash Bandicoot were found and preserved, with both games being dumped from an SH904i phone. Learn how you can play them by following the link in this video's description. Then finally, a demo of Big Brother, an unfinished 90s PC game based on George Orwell's 1984, was found and archived online, and can now be played by all. So truly everything was alright. The struggle was finished. We can love Big Brother. 6 English language fan translations were completed last month, 2 for PS1 games: Gene Tugu, Shadow Struggle, and Septentrion, Out of the Blue. The other 4 included CyberArm's Val Kaiser on PC 98, Super Fire Pro Wrestling Special for the SNES, Puyo Puyo on the Mega Drive, and finally mobile game Rockman Dash Great Adventure on 5 Islands. So yes, that's all for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can via this Ko-fi link as well, and thanks to Wodazette and Lorace for their generous donations last month. But I appreciate everyone hearing these words, of course, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell to be notified of new videos, and make sure you have a great day.
Blast those busters trying to creep up on you. This is how it's done.